What if the greatest battle in the world of One Piece wasn't just about power, but about a forgotten bond that once changed history itself? In the heart of Elbaf, a land as vast as a nation, the clash between Imu and Loki erupts with a force that shakes the very foundations of the island. But beneath the thunderous blows and overwhelming haki lies something far deeper, an ancient connection tied to the Void Century, where names like Joy Boy and Imu were once not enemies, but something far more complicated. As the fight intensifies, every strike begins to reveal fragments of a hidden past filled with betrayal, ambition, and choices that shaped the world we know today. Loki's rage, Imu's cold dominance, and the eerie echoes of Joy Boy's legacy all collide in one brutal confrontation. This isn't just a battle for victory. It's the key to unlocking truths that have been buried for centuries, where the line between gods and demons becomes more blurred than ever. Oh yeah, so we can keep interacting and making the anime storytelling world even more fun together. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and drop your thoughts in the comments to keep the vibe going. Alright guys, let's jump straight into the discussion. Let's go. Imagine a battle that isn't just about raw strength, but one that rips open buried wounds from a long-forgotten past. On the land of giants, Elbaf, the clash between Imu and Loki is far more than a simple duel. It's a conflict powerful enough to shake an island the size of a nation, while also unraveling a mysterious connection that traces all the way back to the Void Century. Behind every brutal exchange lies an old story filled with betrayal, ambition, and power that surpasses human limits. Amid the chaos, fragments of the past begin to resurface, especially the unexpected link between Joy Boy and Imu, who apparently once walked the same path. Now, everything is turned into a merciless confrontation where divine and demonic forces collide. Elbaf stands as the witness to a battle that won't just determine the future, but also reveal long-hidden secrets within the world of One Piece. Honestly, the fight between Imu and Loki is absolutely insane. It literally makes all of Elbaf tremble. In one of the most brutal moments, Imu mercilessly pierces Loki straight through the chest. We now have a full HD scan with the best available translations, and it even includes a flashback revealing that Joy Boy and Imu were once close allies. This chapter is beyond wild. With all the details now revealed, let's break it down. It opens with a cover page showing Carrot casually relaxing on top of a group of panda sharks. To be honest, it feels insignificant compared to the massive chaos unfolding in the main story. The chapter is titled Gods and Demons, which becomes extremely fitting once you see what happens. The chapter itself isn't very long, but it's packed with dense and important content. On the first page, the editor hints at a memory from 14 years ago. We're shown a flashback of Harold, who calls himself the worst king in Elbaf's history, so ashamed that he even begs to be killed so his throne can be taken. Loki responds with sharp sarcasm, pointing out that his father only lived to 144 years old, while giants typically live up to 300 years. That alone makes his death suspiciously early. Loki then accuses Imu of being the mastermind who deceived his father and ultimately caused his death. But Imu's response is cold, disturbingly so. Imu claims that the one who suffered the most from that incident was actually himself because he lost a valuable soldier. That way of speaking clearly shows how little Imu values others, even their lives. Back to the present battle. Loki begins gathering an immense amount of haki into his weapon, Ragna, which is now crackling with massive lightning from the sky. Fueled by rage, Loki demands answers about what Imu really did to his father. The energy he builds is overwhelming, as if even the sky is reacting to his anger. Without hesitation, Loki unleashes Ragna, coated in haki and lightning, straight at Imu. This isn't just any attack, it's the same technique that once shook all of Elbaf. But the shocking part? Imu blocks, it effortlessly using the power of Omen. No injuries, not even a scratch. It's as if the attack meant absolutely nothing. The explosion from their clash appears perfectly balanced, suggesting that their powers are on equal footing. There's even a strong indication that this is a Conqueror's Haki clash, given the signature lightning effects. What's even more interesting is that during the clash, their bodies don't actually make contact. There's a visible gap between them, something typically seen when two Conqueror's Haki users collide. The impact spreads across the entire island. Sanji is seen being blown away and injured, while Vegapunk, Frankie, Jinbe, and Nami all feel the massive shockwaves despite being in different parts of Elbaf. Loki himself is stunned, realizing that such a powerful attack could be completely nullified. He begins to notice something strange. Imu'S black flames aren't ordinary power. When questioned, Imu explains that Omen is merely a manifestation of his military strength. Then, with a hand gesture resembling a Buddha-like symbol, Imu enlarges his body to match Loki's size. And that's saying something, because Loki is already far larger than normal giants. The situation escalates even further when Imu transforms his weapon using Omen into a bizarre, almost living form, and resumes the fight against Loki. Both of them continue clashing with full force in a battle that remains perfectly balanced. Neither side gains the upper hand. Every single collision feels equal, like two unstoppable forces refusing to yield. At this point, the real question starts to creep in. Who's actually in control of this fight? Is this proof of just how overwhelming Imu is being able to stand toe-to-toe with Loki? Or is it Loki who's truly monstrous for managing to keep up with someone like Imu? One thing is clear. This battle perfectly showcases two titanic forces operating on the same level, with neither side able to dominate the other. Things take a darker turn when Imu shifts into a more tactical approach. In a flash, moving at insane speed, he leaps above Loki and drives the hilt of his sword downward, channeling the power of Omen into it. That's when a technique called Nemesis is unleashed. And interestingly, that name doesn't refer to the sword itself, but to the attack. In the original Japanese version, the move even carries a tone resembling a divine blade. The moment hits hard, literally, as Loki is pierced straight through. There had been a lot of confusion about this weapon before. Some theories claimed it was a black blade like the one wielded by Dracula Mihawk, even trying to directly link the two. But that assumption doesn't hold up. The black appearance isn't a true black blade. It's just the smoky aura produced by Omen's power. Sure, the attack stance looks similar to Mihawk's style, but that's just coincidence. Other characters have used similar poses before, so there's no real connection there. Moving forward, Imu begins to reveal something much deeper. He explains that power is something everyone desires, and the fastest way to obtain it is through corruption, by surrendering one's will and entering a binding pact. Emotions like envy and ambition can be transformed into immense strength. What's intriguing is that the kanji used for power in his explanation is the same as the one tied to Omen, hinting that these concepts are fundamentally linked. Imu then combines all of it, Omen, energy, and raw power, into a single devastating technique. The result is a massive, demonic sphere of energy launched directly at Loki. The explosion is overwhelming, and Imu refers to this combined force as Dominion. He even goes as far as offering Loki a godlike power, on the condition that he abandons his humanity. Loki takes heavy damage from the blast. His body is torn and bleeding, barely able to stand. But that weakness turns out to be a trap. Even in such a critical state, Loki manages to counterattack at insane speed, swinging his hammer Ragna with everything he has left. The strike comes dangerously close to hitting Imu head-on. What makes the moment chilling is how Imu avoids it, just barely. The hammer misses him by mere inches. That level of speed is beyond reason. It brings to mind the moment Shanks took down Eustace Kid in an instant. But this is on a completely different scale. Loki isn't just any opponent. He's attacking with full power, Whether it's pure speed or some kind of teleportation ability, Imu'S movement is on an absurd level. Still, while Imu remains untouchable, Loki is clearly starting to wear down. His breathing grows heavy, and his body collapses to the ground. Even so, he manages to comment on Imu'S dominion, mocking it as something closer to a devil's contract than the power of a god. That line ties directly into the core theme of the chapter. What really separates a god from a devil? As Loki looks up, he sees Imu hovering above him. Yet even in that position, Loki refuses to bow to anyone. At that exact moment, a shocking flashback appears, showing Joy Boy and Imu in the past, laughing together during the Void Century. Their relationship clearly wasn't just that of enemies. They were once incredibly close. And that memory seems to stir something within Imu, as if the past still lingers deeply within him. This opens up a huge possibility that they once stood on the same side. Some theories suggest they may have even worked together to defeat a greater threat, possibly someone like Davy Jones. But if that's true, what caused their separation? One of the most compelling possibilities points to Nefertari D. Lily. Considering Imu'S apparent obsession with her lineage, especially figures like Nefertari Vivi, it's not impossible that their conflict began with unreturned feelings or a betrayal rooted in love. The flashback also portrays Joy Boy with an aura strikingly similar to Monkey D. Luffy in his awakened state, full of energy, freedom, and unrestrained laughter. But instead of reacting with warm nostalgia, Imu snaps. He shouts, his emotions erupting as his haki surges into something far more violent and oppressive. On the other side of the battlefield, Luffy, still present in the chaos, begins to feel the overwhelming pressure of that haki. He keeps eating non-stop, desperately trying to recover his stamina. From his perspective, Imu'S haki feels so heavy that it's almost suffocating. What's even more interesting is that, compared to the haki he once sensed from Joy Boy, this feels completely different. That sparks a big question. Does Imu actually possess stronger haki than Joy Boy? The answer isn't so simple. The haki Luffy previously felt from Joy Boy came from a stored knot of energy that had been preserved for hundreds of years. Naturally, it wouldn't be as powerful as the original when Joy Boy was alive. Meanwhile, Imu is fighting at full capacity right now, so the comparison isn't exactly fair. But all of that speculation gets cut short by an insane turning point. Just when it seems like Loki has lost the advantage, he suddenly exploits a brief opening when Imu lets his guard down. With a single, devastating swing of his hammer Ragna, Loki strikes with everything he has. The result is unbelievable. Imu is sent flying across the entirety of Elbaf. And we're not talking about a small island. Elbaf is massive, comparable in scale to a nation like Alabasta. One strike, one moment, and the entire flow of the battle shifts instantly. The sheer scale of that attack is beyond absurd. Loki's blow launches Imu across the island, marking one of the most insane displays of raw power we've ever seen. For the first time, Imu is actually shown bleeding from the head, something that almost never happens. His body is slammed into the gigantic atom tree that towers over Elbaf. In the distance, the atmosphere grows even more intense as Loki begins to transform. His body becomes engulfed in flames, forming a terrifying silhouette that resembles a figure like Nidhogg. This time, the use of silhouette isn't just for mystery. It creates a truly menacing presence. And when Imu sees it, he reacts instantly, as if he recognizes something from that form. Without hesitation, Imu reactivates the power of Omen to defend himself. Meanwhile, Loki unleashes another full-force attack, a massive explosion of energy infused with thunder, reminiscent of Thor's power, obliterating everything in its path. But what's surprising is Imu's reaction in that moment. He smiles. Not just any smile, but one filled with excitement, as if he's genuinely enjoying the fight. That reaction is unexpected, considering Imu has never seemed like someone who thrives on battle. Yet here, it's clear that he's not only acknowledging Loki's strength, but also taking pleasure in the clash itself. Maybe it's because of Loki's transformation, or perhaps because Imu has finally found an opponent worthy of him. Even so, it still feels like Imu holds a slight edge overall. Earlier, he was effortlessly blocking Loki's attacks, even dominating the exchange and stabbing him without much difficulty. The hit Loki landed only happened because of a momentary lapse. Still, what Loki has shown here is nothing short of extraordinary. In terms of power scaling, Loki now feels like he's surpassed the standard level of a Yonko. If anything, only figures like Kaido or Shanks might stand on equal ground with him, and even that comes with certain conditions. Interestingly, despite Shanks having defeated him before, Loki refers to Shanks as a coward, hinting that there may be more to that story than we know. In short, this chapter is absolutely insane from beginning to end, packed with brutal action, deep mysteries from the past, and unexpected surges in power. The clash between these two isn't just about victory or defeat, but about uncovering massive secrets that have been hidden for ages. Thank you so much for sticking with the story till the end. If you have any questions, feel free to write them down in the comment section below. Thanks again for watching, and see you in the next one.